all coming.
Action.
All right, action. Welcome back, world. Welcome back to our Night at the Future Museum 2020 edition. This is our second Night at the Future Museum. Today on February 27th, 2020. We hope that you are excited and ready to join us once again. As you know, our students have been working hard in terms of preparation and getting their projects ready for all of you to be able to enjoy out in the social media world and on the YouTube platform. We were actually walking through the halls, so if you want to see behind the scenes, this is what it looks like before we get all wild and crazy. If you see our parents back there, they are VIPs in the sense because we don't usually let parents back here, but because their wonderful child is helping us out, they get to be on camera with us. All right, let's head out, boys and girls. We're going to walk down our primary wing. Later today, you will get a chance to come and observe all the wonderful stuff that our students in kinder, first, second, and third grade have done. I'm going to let you know that there are some very, very fun projects that you will be seeing in terms of our problem-based learning. One of which, needless to say, is a wonderful creation and invention of some roller coasters. Yeah, that's right, you heard it right, roller coasters. You heard it here at Algab. We have future engineers. We'll have a sneak peek if you take a look in there. We won't say too much until we come later, but that is going to be one of the funnest projects that you will get a chance to see today. Needless to say, we're going to be starting outdoors. As you can see behind me, we're going to be exiting those doors. We're going to go and find out what's happening out in our portables. What you're going to see is that, as I previously mentioned, you're going to see a lot of hard work and dedication that our students have put into their work. Keep in mind that one of the biggest focuses that we have here at El Gavilan Elementary School is our Hawk High Five, which are collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and citizenship, brought to you by yours truly, Mr. Galimba, in terms of taking what we had at our district with the 4 C's and incorporating a 5th. Here at El Gavilan, we believe that citizenship is an important trait and or characteristic to have because students need to know how to have a heart. That's why here we listen with our eyes, ears, and our heart. As you can go ahead and take a look and pan around, you're going to see that our parents are starting to enter the classrooms. We are excited to go see what their children have done in terms of learning. We're going to go ahead and just work our way down the portables. I know in years past we've gone by grade level, but I just want to make sure that we're able to hit all the classes because there are many, many more people that are participating this year and want to make sure that we get everybody in. So we're going to go ahead and start here with room 36, which is Mr. Chung's class. Just so you can know a little bit about Mr. Chung, it's his first or second year, I forget. I believe it's his second year with us. And he is currently working with the students on finalizing their unit on currency and economy. So one fun activity that they actually had that you're going to be seeing is that they had the opportunity to earn money by doing different projects on campus. Funny story, I came into his classroom not 2 days ago and a student came up to me and said, Mr. Gonzalez, I love your shoes. They are wonderful. Take a look at those shoes, right? I thought they were wonderful myself. The reason why it's funny is because the only reason they made a comment is because they got paid to make that comment. So I was like, you know what? I unaccept your comment. But I actually took it back because it was still a nice comment to receive. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and walk around. I'm going to go ahead and give my camera crew about 15 seconds to walk around, maybe take a couple of close-ups on what's going on these desks. Then we'll go ahead and talk with some students.
Thank you. What do you say to me?
Thank you, Mr.
All right. Very good.
Huh?
What's that I see over there? Is that Matthias? Matthias? Hi. Are you giving it to me? For me to keep? Is this a present? Did you ask me nicely? Sure, I can do that.
Alright, camera team, please go ahead and regroup on me. We'll be interviewing some students shortly. Remember, don't get too close. I don't want the public to go ahead and get scared by my face. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and find a student that we can go ahead and talk to. Let's go ahead and ask Mr. Chung if he has a student ready for us. Mr. Chung, by chance, do you have a student for us that we can go ahead and talk to in terms of the projects that you guys worked on?
Let's see. Matthias! It's time for you to become a star.
Come on, Matthias.
Go! Go do it! You're fine! You can do it! Matthias! Matthias!
It doesn't seem like he's ready, so maybe we won't necessarily get Matthias. So then let's ask Mr. Chung. How about that?
All right.
We'll start with him, then we'll ask one of
Oh,
the students.
whose is this? Who did I? Oh, here we go. All right, here you go, my friend. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, what's? Oh, man.
That is a lot of cameras, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to one of the students that would like to go ahead and interview Mr. Chung so that we can go ahead and see what he has to say. Does any of our students, or do any of our students want to ask any interview questions? It looks like we have Morgan here who will be stepping up to the plate. So Morgan.
All right, Morgan, what's up?
Hello, my name is Morgan.
I know your name is Morgan.
What is your name?
My name is Mr. Chung.
Hi, Mr. Chung.
First name is Mr.
Mr. Chung. Really? I was wondering if you could ask us a few questions for us.
Sure, I can do that.
Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
Sure. Our unit is called Economy, Buyers and Sellers, and it's, to make it really simple, it's all about teaching students how to be responsible. Oh, wait, okay, I think my voice is already pretty loud. All right.
Much better.
Our unit is called Economy, Buyers and Sellers, and it's all about teaching students how to be responsible with their money. We have two main activities during our unit. One's called the Value of a Dollar, where the students get to spend a couple days doing odd jobs, different kinds of jobs where they earn money to see if they can afford their dream meal. So here's a menu with a bunch of different items: round table pizzas, french fries, sandwiches, steaks. Some items are expensive, some items are cheap, and they get to plan out what they want. But the catch is you need to earn enough money to actually afford it. And so by the end of that activity, by doing different jobs, picking up trash, answering questions, giving out compliments, they get to see if they can actually afford their dream meal. So take a look at our earnings chart for our class.
That looks like it was spectacularly done. Who was our leader?
Our leader was Julissa. Where's Julissa? Raise your hand, Julissa. Hey, Julissa, you want to tell them all about Market Day?
I would love to hear Julissa talk about Market Day.
All right. It's all you know. Good luck.
You do know how to speak, right? Yay!
Incomplete sentences.
All right, let's ask.
Hey, who are these random people just throwing things in my face? Use your words.
So the first thing we did was we had
Hey, Aiden.
prepare stuff,
Take that.
like
Put it back on my couch, my
making,
friend.
boards and
Aiden, put that back on my couch.
making
Thank you,
sure
sir.
we have enough things to do. And then by the end, everybody started shopping, and then and then some people got to get what they needed and some
Here you go.
didn't.
You're welcome.
So some of them didn't got all of the things, and some of them did.
What did you enjoy the most about this unit?
Yeah, what was your favorite part?
That we were some.
Oh, wonderful.
What high five did you use in this unit?
So if you remember correctly, our Hawkeye Fives are collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and citizenship. Which one do you feel was the most important for this project?
Critical.
Why?
Because we had
Yes?
to think what we
Yes.
had to do last,
Get out.
and then our customers.
All right. Here you go.
That is a very great point. I think I agree with you.
Welcome.
Okay.
What's up, my friend? Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Here you go. You're welcome.
Thank you. She did a wonderful job of explaining this project. Here's Mr. Hera trying to hide from us. Let's get her on camera. Say hi to the world, Mr. Hera.
Good. Here you go.
And here's Miss Melgosa, another teacher that's trying to hide from us. Let's say hello, world.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Well, students and team, are we ready to move on to the next class?
Yeah.
I think so. We learned a whole lot about the economy today. We learned that the students had the opportunity to create their dream meals. They had to work hard to see if they could actually make enough money to pay for it. The reason why this is important is because just like any type of real world problem, students had to come up with an idea, try to find ways to make the funding for the meal that they created, and if not, they kind of had to go back to the drawing board and choose something that was more economical for them.
What is it?
Amazing. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go see what else we can find in the world. Hello, how are we doing today?
To room 39.
Mr. Nielsen, how are you today?
What's happening, guys?
What's happening, world?
Let's go to room 39.
So,
I know.
moving on from Mr. Chung's second grade class, we're moving on to Miss Dimler's second grade class. This is Miss Dimler's first year with us. We're going to go ahead and check out what's going on. I have a feeling it's going to be very similar to what we saw in Mr. Chung's class because our teachers collaborate and work very closely together, so I would have doubted if the activities were pretty much the same. Let's go ahead and take a look around. Ooh. Let's see. This one in the class.
They have 3 in the
But
store.
that
They're
makes sense
selling
because
for
each
$15
project is uniquely different. Just by looking at this project here, this student would have spent $91 on one meal. I don't think I've ever spent that much on a meal for myself. And I don't think I ever could. Because I don't think I could fit that much food in my stomach. But that is a fun project nonetheless.
That's great. Hi, I'm Nancy.
Let's take a look at some of these posters that our students created. It seems like they learned about sellers and producers. The projects that they created obviously were very well thought out. These posters, I must say, are very well done. I like their coloring. I like the fact that they stay inside the lines. Beautiful job. What say you, team? Are we ready to move on and see another class?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could interview somebody.
Yeah.
If we can find somebody. Is anybody here willing to be interviewed that is a student in this class?
We have Isabella. Baby.
Isabella, congratulations. You've been voluntold to interview. Come join us. Join us, Miss Allen. I promise your brother will give you a close-up because he's on the camera with us. Come present to us. So we have Morgan once more, who will be interviewing our students. He's being kind and he's going to be sharing, so we're going to go ahead and have Mr. Sparks interview Miss Allen. So Mr. Sparks, when you are ready, just remember we're sharing the mic. Go ahead and start. Nice and loud, please.
Okay. What is your name?
Isabella.
What? Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
Your unit was about giggles. Give her some space, guys. Too close. Does anybody want to help her out? This is like a talk show. Phone a friend.
Jillian, I'll give you 5 points.
Phone a friend. That's how we do it. There you go, Mr. Sparks. Go ahead and ask again.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
What did you learn about? What was the unit about? What was the project about? The project was about earning some money. Nice. Can you tell me a little bit about how you had to earn money?
Think about your value of the dollar activity from last week. What you guys have to do. Look at the desk. Have a look here.
You can just grab it and then.
Cleaning our desk during recess and doing jumping jacks and by doing squats and by helping the teacher in your classroom and helping a student solve their problem. And that's it.
What did you enjoy most about this unit? What did you like? What did you like about this unit?
In other words, what was your favorite part? question, huh? You probably liked everything.
You can say you like. I liked everything. Okay, Maria. If you want it.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can answer some questions too.
That's the next question.
Okay, next question.
Let's get your ring right there.
What Hawk High Fives did you use in this unit?
In case you're wondering, the Hawk High Fives are collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and citizenship. Those are the Hawk High Fives that we always use. Which one do you feel is the most important for this project, and why? Why? You're right, collaboration was important. Why was that important? Because you had to work together, right? Good, good answer.
Thank you for sharing.
Good job, ladies. You did a wonderful job. I know it's nerve-wracking, but you did a great job.
It was a. That's on YouTube.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to another grade level so that we can get through all of them. Wonderful, let's join us.
You guys are gonna be speechless on YouTube.
There we go, there we go. Our hawks are everywhere we go. So now we're going to be heading over to Miss Delaney and Miss Cariaga's 4th grade student project, hosted here in room 39. Let's see what we can find. Hello, hello. Hello, and how are we?
Do you need this?
Come on in. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the different projects that they have. Then we'll go ahead and interview some people. Let's take a look at the student work first. Ooh, here we have a story that was written about a flashlight, and another story about a flashlight, and another story about a flashlight. And apparently they're all stories about flashlights. I'm curious to read all these stories when I get a chance. Unfortunately, we don't have time to read them all right now. But that's just one story that they wrote. Here's another story that the students wrote. This one's about escaping a hole. This one's about falling in a hole. This one's telling a story about how somebody actually fell in a hole. That is pretty interesting. I like the fact that students had the opportunity to write exactly what they wanted to about the holes. Neat. And if we walk around over here, we can see some projects that the student actually created. This one is specifically about solar panels. This project over here is about the windmills, if we want to take a look at that. What we're going to see is that students are actually presenting, not necessarily in different places across the world, but actually here on campus in front of a green screen. That's why, even though it looks like Gabriela is in one place and Jasmine is in a different spot, they're actually all both here on campus just in front of a green screen. Pretty neat, right? So that's how we're able to kind of mix it up a little bit for our students and make sure that they are tech savvy. So let's find somebody that we can interview in terms of the projects that they've been working on for this unit. Let's go ahead and ask them a few questions. I see you back here. Let's see if she's brave enough to answer any questions. Would you like to answer some questions first? Wonderful. We have a volunteer here to ask some questions first.
this class.
Oh, we can totally interview you as well, but you are currently on the film team. So we'll get to you, Mr. Sparks, don't you worry. So who would like to ask questions this time? Okay, here we have Sydney that's going to be asking you some questions that you will so kindly answer, okay? Do your best, and I promise I won't give you a break for it.
Hello, my name is from Hawk TV. What is your name? Hi, Lizette. I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for us. Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
What can you tell us about your unit? What did you learn about?
We learned about how like energy is good for our planet.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
What did you enjoy the most about this unit?
Light energy.
Mhm.
What high five did you use in this unit? What high fives did you use in this unit?
Alright. And what
So the Hawk High Fives that we have are collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and citizenship. Which one of those do you feel was the most important for this project?
You're Welsh.
Ooh, citizenship, that's a good one. Okay, well thank you for sharing.
And you're
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to take a look around, if that's okay with you. Thanks again for sharing.
Wonderful. Actually, before we go, do you have your project up that we can take a look at? Would you be able to show us just so we can see the kind of products that our fourth grade students here at El Gavilan Elementary School are producing? So where's your book?
Mine is over here.
Ooh, may I see that? The Girl Who Fell in the Hole. Interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and read the first page so I can let everybody know the type of writing our students produce. And then I'm going to leave you wanting more because that's how great it's going to be. So it says, there was a girl walking. Her name was Lily. While she is walking in the forest, she sees a bird and a deer. What's going to happen next? I wonder. I'm going to have to pause there so that if you ever want to finish this book, you're going to have to definitely come by and check it out. It's a great book. I'll leave you wanting more, just to kind of whet your appetites a little bit. So with that being said, whether you want to learn more or not is beside the point that the rest of the world does. So we'll go ahead and let them want more. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to another class across the playground because that's where we're headed to
Isabella,
next.
right? Yes. Isabella, what room are you in?
So what we're going to head over to right now, I believe, is going to be room 31 because that's the door that I see open. Keep in mind that when we walk around here in the dark, it's almost like we're walking around on Halloween. As you all know, during Halloween, we walk around and we look for a door with the lights on because we know that that's where the candy is or that's where the goods are. So with that being said, we're gonna walk over and find out what is going on with our classes over here. Because where the lights are on is where the goods are. Unfortunately, they won't be giving us candy, but that's okay because we're still gonna find out. And it's like on this side of the portables, we have one class that we will be visiting. And then we will be heading to how's my film team doing, by the way? You guys doing good? Good. Great. Happy to hear that. Are we good back there? Wonderful. Maybe I'll walk slower. Maybe I'm walking too slow. Or too fast, I mean. So to our left over here, we have our library where we are currently having book sales. Definitely highly recommended. Whenever you guys get a chance to buy books for your children, because whenever we buy books, that is a great way to help our students get better with their reading and their business. Yeah. So here, first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is the kind of atmosphere of the classroom, the theme, if you will. The theme in this classroom is cactus. You're going to notice right away that there's a lot of green and there's cactuses everywhere. Obviously not real ones because for safety concerns we don't want our students getting poked. Needless to say, if you look at this wall here, this is our cactus wall of fame relative to mathematics facts. You're going to see that some students' cactuses or cacti are bigger, and the reason why that is because they have mastered more multiplications than others, which is okay because it's just a way of students monitoring how they've done. With that being said, we're going to come by and take a look at what's been going on. So as I promised you earlier, we had talked a little bit about roller coasters. We're actually going to walk around and see some of the students test out their roller coasters. How amazing is that? Keep in mind that these are, like I said, engineers of the future. As you know, when it comes to building buildings or when it comes to building roller coasters, it takes people to come up with plans, and this is basically what our students did. They came up with a plan, They built their roller coaster through trial and error. They built roller coasters that actually work. Sometimes it fails, but that's okay because that's the process of learning. Through the process of learning, we find out what works, what doesn't, and then we go from there. So with that being said, hello, how are we doing today? What is your name? Savannah, would it be okay if I had one of my students talk to you about your roller coaster project?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and step back and I'm going to let my students take over, okay?
No, my name is Joel. I'm from What is your name? My name is Savannah. I wonder if we could ask you a few questions for us. Can you tell us a little bit about your unit? Yeah. Wait. We've been learning about roller coasters and we've been learning about roller coasters because that roller coasters involve acceleration, momentum, kinetic energy, and potential energy. And that's why we thought that a roller coaster would probably be a great idea for us. So this roller coaster is called Sunset. What did you enjoy the most about this unit? I enjoyed mostly everything because I like science and it was really great to learn about acceleration, momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, gravity, stuff like that. What high five did you use in this unit?
In case you forgot, the Hawk High Five are collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and citizenship. Which one was the most important for you to use and why?
Cooperation, because that we have to agree on what to do. We had to figure out what we were going to do. It took a lot of time to really agree on how it was supposed to look and stuff like that.
I think that was a great answer. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to take a look around if that's okay with you. Thanks again for sharing.
Before we go, I need you to do me a huge favor. I totally need to take a ride on the Sunset Coaster. Can you put it to work for me? I want to see how this goes.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
And that's okay because that's part of the ingenuity process. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It's not going down.
Oh, that was a spectacular fail. But, like I said, that is okay because that's part of the learning process. High five for that one. Great job. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's go take a look at another coaster. Like I said, world, part of learning is failing, and that's okay because here at Algab, everybody makes mistakes, myself included. So with that being said, can you do me a favor? Can you share with us how your cactus roller coaster works? Oh, I like it. She said, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. Whoa, that is spectacular.
That's quick.
Go!
I want to see how long it takes to go
That was
from
amazing.
there.
So, can I ask you a question? How did you come up with this roller coaster?
Well, actually, my team, I was the one helping them tape it. And I told him that they should probably add one more of these to make it.
Okay.
And add more. Yeah, one of my team classmates wanted it to do cactus because we know Mrs. Cornell loves cactuses.
Oh, I like it. I like that
And we
idea.
couldn't fit the ER, so we just put the roller coaster.
That's okay. Because it's unique. It's not a roller coaster, it's a roller coaster.
And right here we had a little problem. When it went right here, it got stuck every time.
Oh. So how did you solve that problem?
We put tape right here, and then it stopped right here, so we put tape right here. And then that, since it was a hole, we put tape right here, and then now it's working.
Wonderful. So would you say that you started with an idea and it didn't work the way you wanted it to, so you tried a different idea to fix it?
Yeah.
Whoa, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing. And congratulations on making a spectacular roller coaster. All right, I gotta try them all. I'm sorry, I gotta just try them all. So, can we take a look at this fireball? I want to go ahead and record the fireball, see how it rolls. Let's get it started. Oh, I'm blocking it with my big finger.
It goes down to the funnel flap. It goes down to another funnel flap and then down and then right here it finishes.
Wonderful. I love how you use the vocabulary that you learned, funnel flap. I didn't even know what that was until you just taught me. Thank you for teaching me. Can you do it one more time just because I totally put my finger in the way? Oh, that was too fast.
And then it goes through another funnel flap.
That is
And
spectacular.
that's the end of the
And that is the end of the fireball. Yeah, I heard that song Fireball. Doesn't Pitbull sing that song? I don't know. I think he does. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last roller coaster. What is the name of this roller coaster?
It is Star Smasher.
Does it smash stars? Totally, right? Okay. Can you fire it up for me? I want to take a look at what it looks like.
So if you put it up here, I don't think it works. It don't fall.
Uh-huh.
And then if you put it where the fire is, and then it goes slower. And there's building right here, so we just decorate. Sometimes it won't work. So just
So you just give it a little help?
yeah.
That's
If you put
okay.
it if you put it at the fire, I think it'll work.
It will finally work.
Just push it in and see what happens. That's okay.
Just push it in.
It's all good. Sometimes the stars need a little help.
Keep on blocking it.
Yeah, you got it, you got it. Oh, you made it, good job. I love how you were able to problem solve. You know that if you put it too high, what would happen?
It would fall.
So how did you solve that problem?
I might put it where the fire is. That's the start.
Wonderful. That's a great way to adjust your plans. That's what engineers do. Sometimes they come up with plans and they're just like, oh my goodness, it wasn't a great idea. So they adjust their plans just like you did. Very good job, boys and girls. You have a good rest of the day, huh? As much as I'd love to stay in here and play the rest of the day. Hi everybody, by the way, I'm totally getting you on film now.
I wish.
It's G, the brains of the project. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this back to you, Abby. Because we gotta get going to our next class. Oh wait a minute. Can we try this one?
Nope.
No?
It's called Oreo.
Okay, let's try Oreo. Ooh, that makes me hungry for an Oreo.
I know.
So, can we go ahead and fire it up? I want to see what happens.
Okay, here when it starts,
Uh-huh.
this is where the kinetic energy goes, and again, then the little basket is when I finish.
Alright.
That was quick.
That was quick and it was effective. I'm curious, did you try different marbles to see what would happen?
Yeah.
Do all the marbles work or do some marbles work better than others?
Some marbles are like big ones, but if they were big ones, they will like just stop right there and maybe we'll break some of them.
Because they would be too heavy. Oh, okay. That's a great analysis. Well, thank you for sharing that. You have a wonderful rest of the day. Congratulations on your fully functioning Oreo. I'm giving you homework, by the way. You gotta bring me a bag of Oreos tomorrow.
Okay.
Totally kidding. You have a good night.
Totally kidding.
Oh, I'm only partially kidding. I do want a bag of Oreos, but I'm not
Big
sure.
bag of Oreos and salad. Don't forget to do it.
Only partially joking. Alright, boys and girls, while we're walking to the next class, make sure you guys get together in terms of who will be interviewing next, so that way we can keep this show on the road. World, I hope that you're enjoying our night at the Future Museum here on February 27th, 2020. We're rocking, we're rolling. It looks like the classes that we went to are already closed up shop, so we're lucky that we already hit them. We're going to go ahead and check what's going on in our kinder world over here. Our kinder students also are exposed to problem-based learning, sometimes used interchangeably with project-based learning, which is okay as long as the main foundation is there in terms of making sure students have a specific problem to try and figure it out. So if I come in here, it looks like we were working on windmills. I can tell because the wind is hitting me smack in the face and I feel like I'm going to fly out of the classroom. Needless to say, the fun thing about this, don't do that, boys and girls. So, with that being said, the reason why it does that is because of the fan in there is kind of blowing back my voice to me, which is pretty interesting. Who would like to go ahead and show me what they've been doing in this class? Anybody? Any takers? No?
Sorry, sir.
So then maybe we can just start playing with some of their stuff. Miss Jimenez!
Yes.
Hey, can you show us a little bit about what's been going on in your class? It looks like you've been working on weather tools.
Yes, a lot of weather tools, a lot of tools that measure wind. We have our windsock right here. No, it's not a jellyfish or a kite. It's a windsock. So the wind would travel through the cylinder, which all of my kindergartners will tell you in their elements. And we also made a rain gauge, which is used to measure rain. Yes. So we were asking them, would it work today? No. Why? Because it didn't rain. Good job. All right, another tool to measure wind. We have a wind vane.
Can I
And
test
yes, you may test it. Hold it by the bottom of the pencil. That helps it.
Ooh, let's get cameras on Mr. Sparks. Let's check out how this wind vane works. Let's solve that problem. What's going on there, Mr. Sparks? Why is it not spinning very well?
Because
Because the wind is hitting both the square and the air. Let's see what happens if it only hits one. So step more towards the right. There you go. Move the vane toward you a little bit more. Let's see what happens if it only hits one part. May I?
yes.
Let's see what happens if we do this. So the secret to it, boys and girls, is that when you're actually putting it in front of the wind, you want the wind only hitting one side. Because if it hits both sides, then what's happening is that it's causing friction on both sides.
Like
And
this?
if that's the case, it's not moving. If we take a look at what Mr. Sparks is doing now, what you're going to notice is the same idea. It's only hitting one side of the cup, so it's able to spin. If he puts it right in the middle, it's probably not going to work as efficiently.
this?
It might, but you're going to notice that it kind of gets stuck. So the secret to the vanes, boys and girls, is making sure that the wind is only hitting how many sides?
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty spectacular. I learned how to make a vane. I'm going to totally make a vane for home.
And our last tool we made was a thermometer made out of equal parts of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, water, and food coloring. And then we put a straw. And we put molding clay right here. And when it got hot, the liquid rose through the straw. But these scientists figured out that not all projects work. There were some thermometers that were more active than others, and some that didn't activate at all. So
Wonderful.
that's how it goes.
And I have one question. Did any of the thermometers spill out from the top?
Yes, yes. There's actually have some videos in the slideshow of it. It's like a volcano
Ooh, let's take a look at this video
overflowing.
clips over here. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Jimenez. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at what's happening here with our students and their hint, not jellyfish. Ooh, those are interesting.
and the green one?
Oh, yes. They're pretty filled, you're right. Does everybody see the straws inside the blue and the green?
Yeah.
Looks like they were pretty much at the
But
top.
we made them at the same time, and you see that some reacted and some didn't.
Interesting. As you can see, there's some green clay on there. I bet you it wasn't green before.
And the
That
green
is
can mix it.
spectacular. I love the fact that our students got to learn about the weather and how to measure it. And I love the fact that they had the opportunity to create hands-on projects, which is one of the neatest components of our curriculum and instruction here at Alexandria Elementary School, is that the majority of teaching is done through hands-on problem-based learning. You can see the excitement on our students' faces because they had an exciting and amazing time working on creating these projects. So we hope that you all get an opportunity to recreate something like this with your students. With that being said, boys and girls, let's go ahead and refocus because we are going to be moving on to the other classes. We only have 15 minutes left in our spectacular evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for supporting our time here and for allowing us the opportunity to come and enjoy time in here. We're going to go ahead and move on down the hall to see what's going on in first grade. Let's go ahead and take a look in room 11. Hey, Jonas. Room 11, this is the local first grade class. We're going to go ahead and start by trying to find somebody that will be able to share some information in terms of what it is that they learn in their unit. So while we are looking for somebody, let's go ahead and focus on these posters here. Because it looks like they focus specifically on inventions of the past and the present and maybe how they changed over time. Ms. Beluga, do we have any students that we can speak to? Perfect. We'll give you some time to look for somebody. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Inventors. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Carl Benz invented the car. I had no idea until I really just read that right now. What do you think, Mr. Chung? Impressive?
What?
Impressive?
Yes.
Yes, right.
Magnificent.
That is the correct answer. So, unfortunately, there are no students here at the moment. So, what we can do is maybe we can talk to Ms. Beloka about her project. Ms. Beloka, do you have a moment of time?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and have a lady here ask you some questions relative to the project that your students worked on. A lady, if you'd be so kind.
Hello, my name is a lady from Hawk TV. What is your name?
Hi, my name is Miss Beloka.
I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for us.
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
Sure. So my students have been learning about the past and the present. So how have things changed from the past to the present? So if you can see here, they were able to draw the television from the past and the television from the present, and they were able to compare the car as well as the telephone. Then we learned that inventors use innovation to solve past problems. So they learned about 4 inventors. And then they also created a slide using education to tell us about 2 of their favorite inventors. And finally, right now we are at what present problems can be solved through innovation. So they were able to identify some of the present problems with our current things that people have invented.
What did you think your class enjoyed the most about this year?
I think what they enjoyed the most was probably creating their iPhone and all the different apps.
What Hawk Talk High Five did your class use?
Oh, we used all of them. We used citizenship, collaboration, communication, creativity, and definitely critical thinking.
Thank you for talking and having your time here. Please be
Wonderful. All right, well, you girls. Go ahead and take a look at our projects that are.
Can I do my class? Yeah, I'm going to do
Right. And we're going to go ahead and move on. So I'm going to go ahead and just read you one example of what the students wrote about, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about. So Anne-Marie wrote, and let me tell you about the phone. The phone from the future has many apps. The phone from the future has maps. The phone from the future has a cat. Interesting. The phone from the future has Kahoot. Oh, that's a good app. The phone from the future has YouTube. Gotta have YouTube. Because then you all wouldn't be able to watch it. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and hit 5th and 6th grade, because those will be our last 2 grades before we close up shop for the day. I cannot believe that we're almost done with our time. Time passes so fast. There's a saying actually that says time flies when you're having fun. I gotta say that holds up true every single time, because every single time that I'm here talking in front of all of you, I feel like it's so much fun and time passes so fast. So we'll make sure that you get a chance to see what our 5th and 6th graders are doing. After that, we will go ahead and log off for the evening. But for those of you that are still with us, we thank you for joining us, because it is a wonderful event that happens only 3 times a year. So make sure that you join us every single time that we do something like this. How are we doing? Probably. Alright, we are almost there. I know it's been a long walk, but we're getting close to the end. Let's take a look. Lady, what class would you like to go to? Okay, we'll hit room 3 and 4. Or I'll say good morning, but it's evening. Good evening, Miss Capola. How are you doing?
How you doing?
Well, yourself? We're coming by to check out your students' project.
All right, good. Go ahead. I think there's Ava Bernal on there that'd be more than happy to assist you.
Wonderful. Miss Bernal, where are we? Because I see you trying to hide from the cameras. World, we're going to introduce you to Miss Bernal, who's trying to hide from us, but we're not going to let her hide, are we, boys and girls? Because we just don't let people do that. So, Abril, ¿cómo estamos? How are we? Good. So as you can see, I have my squad here, and the reason why we're here is because we want to learn a little bit about the projects that you all worked on. So if it's okay with you, we have Sydney here that wants to ask you a few questions. Is that okay? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay, good answer.
Hello, my name is Sydney from Hub TV. What is your name?
My name is April.
Hi, April. I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for us.
Sure.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
In our unit, we did a problem that we had in our school or city or country, and then we did some problems to solve it. And like things, we have like safety school, restrooms, and different problems. And also we did our work, which had like ancient Egypt and how Egypt was successful and things like that.
What did you enjoy the most about this?
That we were work together and get medicine.
What Hawkeye vibes did you use in this unit?
Collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to take a look around, if that's okay with you. Thanks again for sharing.
Great job. Thumbs up.
Can we look over there?
Morgan, you may continue. Now let's just walk around and take a look at the projects that are on the desk. Let's go ahead and hit our last grade level. So let's take a look at what a sequence and a cycle looks like in terms of the unit. So we have the overview. Why was Egypt a successful society? That's the overview of what they learned about. So the first sequence is focused on the following question. How did leaders of ancient Egypt respond to the problems of their day? So they have to pose a question and obviously find different answers to it. And what you're going to find here is that there's an example of the work that the students produced. And on the second sequence, the question was, how do modern leaders communicate their points of view? So as you can see, it's kind of building on the original sequence. And the final sequence would be, how can we communicate our ideas for change? So what you're going to see is as students progress through a unit, the questions become progressively more challenging, and it causes, or forces rather, the students to really think critically so that they can come up with answers. And the best part about it, like our lady was saying, is that we use our high fives to be able to collaborate and communicate effectively. So with that being said, let's go ahead and say thank you, lady. Where's the lady?
April.
I'm sorry, not lady. April, shame on me for confusing. Hey, Ami, thank you for sharing with us. You have a great evening. There you go. Thank you. Ooh, interesting. It looks like here we have voting going on. It looks like people have the opportunity to vote for a specific candidate. Let's go ahead and maybe pop in there, find out what's going on, and we're going to go ahead and move on to one class after this.
Okay, this is not my class. You're voting?
Alright, everybody. Go on in, check it out. I'll sign it on your way out.
That's right. Who are the candidates?
How you doing, sir? Check it out.
Alright, so in this class, rather, we have last important projects on I see that a lady is in this class, so we're going to go ahead and take the opportunity to give her a chance to be in front of the camera because she's been behind the camera for so long today, and I think it's only fair that we give her a chance to shine. So, a lady, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and have Sydney ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Hello, my name is Sydney from Pakistan. What is your name?
Hi, my name is Lady.
Hi, lady. I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for us.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about your unit?
So in this unit, we did problems about our school and city and state. And then another unit we did about the Nile River and Egypt. And our third unit we did about some candidates that are running for president. And here are some candidates. We have people had to write like a paragraph talking about their websites that they went to look up.
What did you enjoy the most about this unit?
What I enjoyed was that we had to make slideshows and that we had to work all together on finding our research.
What Hawk High Fives did you use in this unit?
So we use collaboration for one of them, we mostly used all of the Hawk Talk cards except for one of them. So yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to take a look around if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thanks again for sharing.
All right, thank you for sharing, our lady. We're going to go ahead and explore your class for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on this desk. It looks like they have some writing that's relative to Bernie Sanders. We have some writing that was done in terms of Joe Biden and the other presidential candidates, which is important information to have because we're making it real world for our students. We're tying it to what's going on in contemporary science, or so history and social science rather, if you will, so that way they can have practical use of what they said they're. Let's go ahead and move on. Thank you, Ms. Sims, for allowing us to come and join your classroom. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening. Let's move on to fifth grade. Would I like to vote? I will not vote because I don't want the YouTube world to hate me. I take that back. I will vote. I'm just not going to vote in front of everybody. Because everybody has an opinion, and my opinion is that I should we're going to step into Mr. Delaney's class. Great. We're going to come by, we're going to check out what's going on in your class. We'll probably ask you to share a little bit, then we'll move on.
Alright,
Well, this looks like fun.
I'll take you over here first. This is in order here.
All right, let's follow Mr. Delaney, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what is going on. Sydney, can you give him the mic so he can go ahead and tell us about what's going on in his class? He's going to lead us around on a grand tour. Be like VIP.
So we're learning about Earth systems, and a lot of it has to do with water. So first thing they learned about was the Dust Bowl and the different things that ended up creating the Dust Bowl.
Doesn't sound like there's a lot of water in the Dust Bowl.
No, they had a lack of rain.
Interesting.
They had loose soil.
Okay.
They had a lot of wind. Ended up not very great. A lot of people moved out. So a lot of people ended up moving west.
Sounds dusty.
Then we learned a little bit about how much fresh water there is on our Earth. So the students calculated, looked at the surface of the Earth, all the different parts, figured out how much of it was fresh water, frozen water, salt water. We realized that there's not a lot of fresh water on Earth. There's 104 times more salt and frozen water than there is fresh water. So big difference. Of course, the resource that we need to take really good care of.
Sounds like a salt.
Next thing, we learned a little bit about another water source, which is groundwater. So about aquifers. They learned about some of the features above ground that can give you hints on where an aquifer might be. And so they had a task where they needed to use some of these hints to figure out where they were going to relocate to, because they needed to find a place that had an aquifer. And so all of our teams over there, they used their investigative skills, and every single group successfully chose the best location, which in this case is location H. Really great soil that they could dig down into, had a lot of hints that told them that there was water underneath. That would be a good place to move up. Last things here. A little look into the water cycle, a little bit deeper than earlier grades. They learned a little bit more about evaporation, condensation, precipitation, all the things that play into it. Experiment here that kind of shows that. So we have our warm ocean examples, we have cold ocean examples, then we have cold and hot skies on each of those. So as we can see, you got to have some heat around the water to get that water up into the sky. And then see, we need cold environment up in the sky to create the rain.
That is warm.
Make that condensation go back into
That
liquid
is
form.
cold.
And then our last thing, something else you'll be seeing in the classrooms, we had a beach town disaster. We learned about flooding, some of the things that contribute to flooding, and they were given a task and a $1 million budget to use a couple different tools, wetlands, stilts, seawalls, and levees. And they had to pick and choose and use their budget as wisely as they could to save as many of the historic buildings as they could. And they did pretty well there. Okay. And other than that, we've got some writing samples out there, but it's a little bit of everything that we did in that science.
I know one thing they shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have put that here.
How come?
Because they could have put like more of these ones.
So these ones are levees, so those are just for rivers. This is a seawall, which blocks the ocean waves. So they look different, right? But they have different purposes. Or they look similar, but they have different purposes.
Spoken like a true fifth grade teacher. Thank you, Mr. Delaney, for sharing and touring us around your classroom. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to hopefully get into one more class. If not, that will conclude our time. Nonetheless, let's just head over really quickly if we can. If not, that's okay. We'll make it to Mr. Basker's class. We are totally going to make it in. He's trying to hide from us, but he can't get away. Ever say hi to Miss Cervantes, who is our principal?
Hi, amazing Hawk TV people. You guys are amazing. Now I'm going to take a picture of all of you taking a picture.
Bye-bye.
So class, we're going to come on in.
We'll take the video in the field.
Okay.
Did up on your screen and on the desk. So we'll ask a few questions.
I'm in this class.
Since you're in this class, you can ask us to ask a question. Oh, that's perfectly fine. We're all going to enjoy the way. I will go turn it down.
Hi, Miss Cindy. My name is Mrs. Sebaska. I would love to answer a few questions for you.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your unit.
Our unit was all on science, so we got to study the Dust Bowl and look at our Earth systems, look at the hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere, geosphere, and how they all interact and work together, and how sometimes they can lead to problems on our planet.
What did you enjoy the most about this unit?
The thing I enjoyed most about this unit was having all of my students get to do some exploration pieces where they got to have kind of trial and error and make mistakes and learn from their mistakes and just kind of create their own answers.
What Hawkeye 5 did you use in this unit?
But we used all of them, absolutely all of them. I think this past week our biggest Hawkeye 5 was probably collaboration because we had to work a lot and be teammates to get our final videos done and our final commercials done. It took a lot of teamwork.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We'd like to take a look around if that's okay with you. Thanks again for sharing.
It's not okay. Just kidding. Hi, my dear. Let me get a pen real quickly.
Smile. I'll show him out. I have like all of them. Like I'm one of those. With like it's good and bad. All right, boys and girls. That pretty much concludes our time. We're gonna go ahead and start walking out.
Disbanding?
We will be disbanding shortly, but before we do, we're just gonna go ahead and reiterate to the world that we thank you for joining us today. It was a wonderful event, as you can see once more. Our students are excited and enthused to be able to share what it is that they learned. It's the same every single day. When we invite you to experience this and enjoy the show, it's something that we pretty much live all the time. So we thank you again for coming from the bottom of our hearts. The team that is here, I want to thank you on camera as well. What the people don't realize is that these students volunteer their time. It's not like we pay them. Technically, we should pay them cookies, but that would be child labor, and we don't want to do child labor laws. Totally kidding. But we thank you for being the MC for this once more. Couldn't be done without you and your little carrying case that you got going on in front of you. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at Mr. Glenn with his carrying case. He's basically carrying what we call the technology baby. That's that tech baby. We thank him for walking around with that. It's been a good workout. So be looking for that tomorrow when he's next for it. Needless to say, that concludes our evening. We'll go ahead and walk into the options. I wanted to give you a short update, and then we'll discuss from there. I don't know if you all remember from about a year or so back, we talked about what our plans were for the Hawk's Nest. It's been coming together. It was a lot emptier the last time we came over, but I wanted to go ahead and just show you what's been done in terms of progress. Go ahead and walk through the floor really quickly. Go ahead and share that with you. What you're going to see is that we got some data in here and it's a bit more.